Rob, I feel really good about what I told you the other day. Actually, yesterday when you and I were talking about Game 4, and I thought it was just a great opportunity for the Pacers to go up 3-1 in this series. And obviously not saying they would have won in 4-1. Maybe they lose in Game 5, and then, so on and so forth. But a chance to win the series. I thought the Pacers had it at home up 10 against the number one team, the best team in the NBA, and that's where you got to, take that shot, put your foot in their throat, and they weren't able to.
Yeah, well, they're not 3-1 good.
Right.
The Pacers were underdogs. I think you got to remember that. Say that, and I hear you.
But what I'm saying is in order to
– But they were underdogs.
Right.
To be up 3-1 would have been –
But in order to win, I have to do something what was crazy. Because I thought you start to cook, them being the Thunder.
Being up 3-1 wouldn't have been – underdog. They would have been dominant for them to win 3 of the first 4.
And that's fine. Just like the Pistons were
that's not how they
massive
won.
Underdogs against the Lakers in 2004, and they dominated that series. So what I'm saying is when you got a shot to do it, I'm not saying they should have been up 3, meaning coming from, when it was with Game 1, they're going to be up 3-1. What I'm saying is the opportunity was there.
Everybody, you had them winning in 5.
Why do you keep talking about what I had? I'm saying the opportunity was there.
No, I get that.
You ain't let me talk.
But
I'm saying,
but you're acting like you picked them in 5, which means that the Pacers should have won 1 game. Right. So now you're saying when they won 2 games, they should have won 3.
Because in real life, the opportunity was there.
Sense.
It makes absolute sense.
No, it doesn't.
In real life, they were up 10 at home heading into the 4th. They had a shot to win.
10 points in the NBA is not a wrap.
Rob,
not with the three-pointer. We've seen
the
Pacers win.
I'm saying,
the Pacers win
and the reason why you're tight is because you know they should have won to be up 3-1.
No,
I'm not even letting me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is realistically, nobody, including them, probably had them think they would be up 3-1. But I'm saying it was there in their face, 12 minutes, and we got a chance to be up 3-1 in this series. And it's fine that they lost. Okay, we'll take an even split. It's 2-2. But what I knew was, I saw what was coming with the Thunder. And what they did not want to happen, and we'll talk further about this in a little bit, so I won't spend too much time on it now, is Jalen Williams starting to become exactly what you hoped he would be for the Thunder. Not just, he's a really good complimentary player, become a very good to great complimentary player and starting to get into his bag and starting to build his confidence up. And now it's a scary situation if you're Thunder. And not to mention, we talked about last hour, Tyrese Halliburton being nicked up some with that calf strain. So I'm looking at it like this, Rob. The Thunder now, to me, have positioned themselves, and this is what was going to be interesting for me, is they position themselves where we talk about the average age is 24, a little over 24 years old. They have guys you can tell are going to be continual all-stars or perennial all-stars or guys who right there. Chet Holmgren should be one at some point. J-Dub, first time this year, should be one moving forward. SGA, we already know what he is. Putting up 30 a game 3 years in a row, shooting over 50%, MVP of the league, runner-up last year. He's not going to change. In fact, he's only going to get better. And to me, when I'm looking at what they're able to do right now, Rob, I'm saying this is looking as if they have a run to be had for the next 5 years. I'm not saying a decade, but the next 5 years, they got a shot to win a couple. Go to the finals 2-3 times, 2 to 4 times. To me, they're built that way, the way that they're set up with their young guys they don't have to worry about paying because they're either rookies or second years. And then obviously you have SGA, who's going to be the leader of this, who looks like he's only going to be doing this for the next 7-8 years at this high caliber. To me, Sam Presti has built this team the right way. It's defensive-minded first, which is crazy, to also then have the highest scoring guy in the league and also have one of the best offenses. And Jalen Williams is so key in this because if you have a 1-2 punch like this and they both play defense, this is scary. And they had a stretch. I was talking to Rob G. I was telling him there was a stretch in this game. The Pacers got it back down to about 4 points. And you're thinking, here come the Pacers. Okay, this is going to be a competitive fourth quarter, around 8 minutes. And SGA showed you why he was the MVP. It wasn't just the scoring. There was 6 possessions in a row where he had a steal, a block, a steal, hit Jalen Williams for a couple of shots, and then knocked down some free throws. And that was the game right there when the Pacers tried to make a run. SGA was so good. And I'm just watching this team thinking they're so well built, they're so defensive-minded, and they have a legit 30-point a game to the point of he has now more 30-point games in a playoff run except for Jordan. When you're doing things and the only other person on the list is Jordan, then you're in rare air. And I love the way they're
Is it easier to score now than when Michael Jordan played?
Yeah, but what does that mean?
I'm just asking.
Nobody else is doing what he's doing.
I'm just asking. Is it easy?
Kobe didn't do it. Kobe was the bridge between the old school and the new school.
Is it easier to score now is all I'm asking you. Is it easier to score now in the NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on what era we're talking about, though.
Here's why
the 80s.
Here's where I disagree with you. This is like you're putting the cart before the horse. We just saw it. It's going to be 7 different NBA champs.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already tagging them for like 2 or 3 championships, and they haven't even won the first one yet.
Mm-hmm.
They got a great shot because Tyrese Halliburton is hurt. So they do have a great shot. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
No, they were supposed to win in 5 and 4 with
so
Rob
it'll be
G.
6.
So
nobody
you
Rob G.
Wrong,
Rob
okay?
G was crazy.
Well, no, he said 4. A lot of people thought, there was no competition. But my point is, you don't know what's going to happen. Just like when the Pistons won their championship in 2004, and they decided we don't want to play that way. They could watch SGA all playoffs and say, you know what, that push off and that hand, we're not going to give them that next year. That's not. We can't be, because you have to give everybody that if you're going to allow him to use his hand like ridiculous. And you can't let them be all over everybody defensively, and you're calling fouls every time people get touched. So you don't know if they're going to change anything defensively or the way that they call the game on them if and when they win the championship. Number 2, we saw the Suns. Oh, the 2-0. Oh, you know, how are you going to stop bookers like Kobe Bryant and Chris Paul, whatever? Oh, they're going to have a run. Oh, what about this team? They're going to have a run. My point is, you don't know. Oh, the Celtics again. Oh, how they not going to win? They just finally broke through. They're going to win. We don't know. I'm not there to say once they win the first one, then we could take a look and see what other teams do. And I'm not saying that, they won't be in the mix, but I'm not guaranteeing this could be a one-off. It could easily be a one-off where they win and never win again. I've seen it happen. It's happened to teams before that's had a good team that everything worked out that year, that they had the best defense. Is that going to be every year they have the best defense and best offense and they're going to win by 20 points every night? I'm not convinced of that other teams aren't going to do anything. Basketball, like any sports, people make adjustments. You watch somebody, you watch teams, you got to make adjustments. You're not going to play the same way you played this past year when they went on to go to the championship and they won all these games by double. No. Teams will have to do something and figure out this is what they get paid for.
Good luck, like they said in the movie Taken.
That's how they do it.
This team, first of all, some of the teams you mentioned were old. First of all, the Suns didn't even win it.
They were up 2-0.
And
they were up 2-0.
But I'm talking about sustained success.
No. I'm asking you this. When they were up 2-0, what did they say about Devin Booker when they were up 2-0? What did they say?
That he looked great.
No, that he was the next Kobe.
First of all.
They crowned him.
That has nothing to do.
No, my point is it was premature.
But that has nothing to do.
It was premature.
They're not the
that's
team.
That's what your talk is.
No, that's not what I'm talking.
Your talk is premature.
They are absolutely not the same team.
That's what I'm saying. Your talk is premature.
Chris Paul was already very old at that point.
No,
so to compare this to the Thunder team,
he is. He a top 3.
He is because of his career,
no.
not at that season.
Not at that time when they were ready and thought he was going to win a championship. That's all. It's premature.
All right, thank you. So when we saw the Warriors and we saw what they were cooking, we said, oh, shoot, this is something unique.
No, and you know what? Then they choked down 3-1 lead.
Okay. When we saw the Warriors, we saw what was coming. When you see wings and you're able to see 2 guys who can specifically wings who in this day and age, this isn't the era of Hakeem and Shaq and Kareem where bigs were the thing. This isn't that era now. When you have lockdown wings who can play great defense, and by the way, put up 25 to 30 every night, and you start to see the dominance, and you have a team that is built, comprised perfectly to fit that, that's a scary tandem. And every time we see.
So they're winning the championship next year? Is that what you're saying tonight?
I'm saying
no,
in the
I'm
next
asking you.
I don't know. I got to see the free agency. There's people. What I'm saying is they're
that's
absolutely.
Why the conversation doesn't make
what
sense.
I'm saying is they're going to be in the mix just like the Celtics
I said that. In the mix. Okay.
What I'm saying is the Celtics went to 2 finals. They won one, they lost one. But if you look at their 5-6 years, you would say we had a heck of a run. We went to 2 finals, we won one, and we had a great run, Eastern Conference Finals. This team can have a 5-6 years run where they get to 2 or 3 finals, maybe 4. When we see a 2-wing combination, a LeBron and D. Wade, a LeBron and Kyrie, a Steph and Klay Thompson, Pippen and Jordan, when you see defensive wings, when you see wings that can dominate who are in the prime like this, and then I don't even Jay Williams ain't even in his prime yet, you start to say, oh, shoot, they have the perfect comprised team. This team, to me, will absolutely have a run for 4 to 7 years where it wouldn't be shocking if they're in the finals.
I don't know.
I expect multiple finals from them.
No,
I expect this.
What does that mean? What does that mean? So what, are they going to win the championship?
I just said they're going to win multiple finals.
Okay.
They're going to win this team will win multiple finals. Whether that in a 6-year run ends up being 2, whether it's 3, they will win multiple finals.
Okay.
You can book that.
You book it. I'll remember it.
You please do.
Year. If they don't win this year, you'll come up with an excuse why they didn't win this year.
No, they better win this year. That's horrible. That would be horrible on them.
If they didn't, you still would feel the same way.
Yes, because in order for me to feel that way, then they have to run off, like I said, a 4 to 6 year window, and I fully expect this team to do so.
I just think it's premature.
How else would I? What would I do this after the 6th year when they already ran through 6?
You don't have to do that.
I feel they're going to
do after you win one. And then you see what the free agency is,
absolutely,
and you see what the Lakers did, and you see what Golden State does.
What I'm saying, it doesn't matter what anyone does. That they're going to be in the mix regardless.
That's all I'm saying.
They'll be in the mix regardless of what anyone does this offseason.
Being in the mix is not that. The Lakers have been in the mix the last 5 years. What does that mean?
The Lakers have not been in the real mix.
Yes, they are.
I'm talking the real mix.
They picked them. Most people picked them to go to the Western Conference Finals. Yes or no?
This team won 68 games.
Did most people pick the Lakers to be in the Western Conference Finals?
I don't know about most people. There are absolutely people who did. I don't know the most.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
There people picked them. They picked the Thunder. They picked the Warriors.
No,
There's a bunch of people picked.
A lot of people.
Can't tell you the most. They picked the Timberwolves.
I can show you one. I'll show you the rundown. Once they got Luka, you don't want to see LeBron and Luka.
My God! And here's the difference.
They're going to have a chance.
Here is the difference.
Oh yeah.
When you get you get a Michael Jordan who is 26, 7, 8, and a Pippen who's 24, 25.
That didn't stop people from saying that because they were older. Is my point.
What you talking about? What people telling me? I'm telling you what I'm telling you. I don't know what other people telling you. I'm saying when you get guys in their wing, Steph and Klay, in their mid-upper 20s, who are locked in together, unified as a team, and they have an identity, they can go on a run. When you have a D. Wade and LeBron who are in their mid and upper 20s at that point, you can go on a run. When you got a Pippen and Jordan, you can go on a run like this with defensive-minded teams who have a lead guard who can score a bucket at will anytime, like an SGA, and an MVP candidate looks like he will be for the next handful of years as well. To me, this is how you create a run. And you saw it with the Celtics. They've had a heck of a 6, 7 year. They might blow it up now, but they had a heck of a 5, 6, 7 year run with the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. With the Jays. And to me, this is looking like the West Coast version of that with maybe even a greater ceiling.